Hello and welcome. This is Tea Time, where we bring you the biggest entertainment stories or in-depth interview with interesting people in the world of showbiz. I'm Tokunbo Taiwo and I'm here with Ife Oshunkeye and Ife Omai. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello. So I take it you've got something new for us?
Just an update on the story we were talking about yesterday. So he's been, Matthew Knowles has been spilling a lot of tea. He's now even making bigger statements saying that Beyonce's success has a lot to do with her skin color, and then the fact that Kelly Rowland did not go as far.
But she made it in Australia.
But made it in Australia because, you know, maybe Australia is not as, you know, color conscious as America is. So just very interesting.
Coming from Australia, do you think they're
color conscious?
Color conscious.
I don't think they have a lot of black people there enough to be threatened or, you know, afraid or anything. They only open their...
Have you faced any sorts of racism?
Of course. I think racism is an emotion. It stems from hate, and anyone could have that anywhere.
Wow. True that. True. Okay. If there are final thoughts on that, or you don't want to say anything more?
What do you think, sir? Do you think Kelly Rowland will have done?
When I saw the statement yesterday, I found it very, 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 very disrespectful to Kelly Rowland, considering the fact that, man, Destiny's Child was what we, at least most of us, grew up listening to, especially when it was time to do the do. You get me?
Okay.
But at the end of the day, the comparison was what I didn't like. You shouldn't have pitched them against each
especially,
other.
you know, considering the fact that, you know, they were in the same group for a long period of time. They were like sisters. They were like best of friends, you know, because they knew each other.
She lived with Beyonce.
Yeah. So I'm like, I get where you're coming from.
It's still on a realistic basis. It's still true though that she has parachuted way ahead in her success game more than Kelly Rowland has, and Kelly Rowland is just as talented and beautiful and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
Okay, I think it's time for us to move on. Yes, let's move on with introduction. Introducing who our studio guest is. Yes, we do have a studio guest, and we won't waste any time in introducing her. She's an Afrofusion singer, songwriter, and record producer. Her talents don't stop there, as she can also play the guitar, the piano, and drums as well. Her acoustic version of Wizkid's Jaye Jaye has resonated with a lot of fans from far and wide. She was also one of the finalists of the musical game show Star The Winner Is, which took place way back in 2014, and that took place in Johannesburg. Her list of works include My Tomorrow, YBNL Mashup, Bamidele, Wahala, Tell Me, 7, and a host of others. In fact, let me quickly add, her most recent work is titled Foolish, but she can correct us at a later stage. Perhaps there might be a new project. She'll be telling us what that is. She's also a producer with massive clout in the industry. With over 10,000 followers on Instagram, we introduce producer and singer Dunnie.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So is Foolish your most recent, or you have something that is much more recent?
Foolish is my latest single I'm promoting at the moment.
Yes, and you released that earlier part of this year, or just now?
April.
April.
Yes.
Okay.
Under the Empower project.
Empower program by Mr. Easy. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
All right,
tell us about that journey into Empower.
I was going to tell us about Foolish first. Well, I think it's all intertwined.
Yeah. I saw a post by Mr. Easy on Twitter and Instagram that he said he wants to empower 100 African artists and give them $3,000 to shoot a video and promote the single. And all you had to do was just post something on Instagram of you doing what you can do best, and you know they would select. There were people in Nigeria that were in charge of selecting artists. So I just saw the notification that I had been selected, and that was it.
So did you feel some type of way that you didn't make it to the top 10?
No, it wasn't about the top 10. Top 10 was just for mentorship, and you get to travel to South Africa and then spend, I think, 2-3 weeks with Easy and Diplo and the likes and master classes. Yeah, so I would have loved that. I wouldn't like, because that would have been a great opportunity. But for me, it's also very important to count my blessings, and I got I didn't have to pay a dime for it, and they gave me all the money. You know, in Nigeria, when people say we'll give you money, you start hearing interesting gist. interesting gist, but he really did it.
He met up,
and I didn't have to know someone or beg or whatever. It was just based on merit. So I'm grateful for that.
Okay, so let's talk about Foolish itself. The inspiration behind it. What led to you deciding to do a song on Foolish? Because sometimes when people do song, like let's say for example, Beautiful, they always associate that word with that particular person. So I'm like, I hope they don't associate Foolish to you. But you can tell us what the whole story is, and so if anyone's having that line of thought, maybe you can correct exactly.
Okay.
Can I help you by saying that most women are foolish when they're in love?
I think everyone is foolish when they're in love.
Exactly. It's not just
Someone told me something recently that once a wise man falls in love, foolishness begins. Basically. So for me, I like to make music that is relatable, to people and tell stories that people probably not want to talk about. And I spend a lot of time on Twitter, because I like Twitter because it shows how people think. People are very expressive. And I came across a tweet one time, and the girl was saying that she doesn't care about anybody else, but she was going to cook for her man, she was going to be domesticated, and people came for her, and like, you're foolish, you're blah, 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 blah. So for me, the core message in Foolish is just let people love the way they want to.
Thank you.
Basically, you don't tell people how
to love.
Yeah. And I also had experience with some of my friends that fell in love. A particular guy that had 2 girls that didn't care. They just wanted to share him. They said they'd rather have half of him than have none of him.
Wow.
I felt that was foolish. Like, guys, there are a lot of guys out there, but they said that's what they wanted. So you have to respect it. So I discovered that people do a lot of stupid things. This guy's
Foolish
cheating
things.
on you, this guy's doing, but you're still there. I'm like, why? I don't love him. And so I decided to put that in a song, and that's
So
what
is Dunnie in love?
At
And
the
are you
moment.
foolish for anybody?
Or were you once foolish for anyone?
No, I've not experienced that before. I think that's
Never
why.
experienced love?
No foolishness. I'm such a realist.
Oh, I see. So you were, when you had your romance, you were not.
I'm just very realistic, and I have a theory of heartbreak. I feel like the handwriting is always on the wall, but people just tend to not want to see it and hope for the better. And I don't hope it will kill you. Eventually, when you keep hoping that, you just think, I'm not heartbroken. No, it was there. The signs were there, but you decided to ignore them. So I'm kind of very realistic. And
are you realistic with anyone at the moment?
No, not at the moment. I'm single.
Are you searching?
Yeah, kind of.
All right, so I've done my research on you. I can tell you almost everything I know about you right now, but it would be better for me to hear from the horse's mouth.
Okay.
So I would like you to tell me, who is Dunnie and who is Dunnie, the beats maker?
Dunnie is a musician, like an all-round musician, singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist and that. And Dunnie, the beat maker, was a moniker I created for myself to just express myself. Because like 2 years ago, I discovered that I could make beats, and I wanted to channel that part. And
Just 2 years ago?
Yeah, I've been doing this professionally for like 2 years. Yeah.
Professionally, but you've been making beats for a while, right?
Somehow, it wasn't just serious. Like I would make Studio One.
Studio One.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So my...
You should charge him. He's that like
I don't know if you guys are...
She was the one that produced it,
You made
wasn't
that
it?
beat, and I'm like, so you started making beats 2 years ago, and you were able to come up with something that dope.
Okay.
Now I sense this tomboyish attitude. Are you like a tomboy? Because I know you listen to the likes of Yin Yang Twins, John, and the rest of them.
I grew up listening to a lot of hip hop music. I actually wanted to be a rapper at some point. Oh my God! At some point in my life, but eventually I evolved and discovered Asha, Beyonce, Alicia Keys. I love Simi too.
Yeah, you opened for Simi.
I did last year. Yeah, absolutely. So my journey has evolved over the years, and I'm still evolving, and I can't wait to see what I come up with in the next 2 years.
Okay, let me ask. Let me follow on from what Ife said. He was saying something about you being tomboyish. Is that true? Because I don't see that.
You don't?
No, I just think that you're yourself.
Well, I don't know how to answer that. I just feel like I'm me, and I'm comfortable. I just like to be comfortable. And sometimes when you're always on jeans and sneakers, that's what people call you a tomboy. I just like to be comfortable, but when sometimes I switch it up sometimes. You know, I wear gowns and do all that.
That's my point.
Yeah, I do that when I have to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe because of the short hair as well. And
But you see, the reason why I'm asking is that, you know, like in other countries that I've lived, a lot of women wear, you know, jeans and t-shirts. So I'm like, does that make you more masculine? Does that make you more feminine? Does that make you a tomboy just because a girl wears jeans all the time?
The reason why I even brought up the tomboy thing was because of the fact that we don't have a lot of female producers in Nigeria. It's not like they're not there, but she's like the most prominent one at the moment.
Would you say that's true? That you're just, you know, you feel
the most prominent
female producer in the music
Name one
industry.
other female producer.
no, there are a lot of other female producers
but
out there.
You know, that's why I say that he knows.
He knows. Oh, okay, yeah, we're not as many, but I feel like we're more than we used to be 2 years ago.
Okay.
So people are, I know a lot of them that we're friends now because I like to, you know, interact with them and just let's connect and see what we can do. So they're really good. That's the interesting thing about it. Another thing about music production I've discovered is that it has nothing to do with gender, basically. Because when you hear the song, you don't want
about
to.
your creativity.
Yeah, is the music good or not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the key. All right, let's quickly go on a break. When we return, we'll continue our interesting conversation with producer singer Dunnie. We'll be right back. You're watching Plus TV Africa, and this is Tea Time.
I loved the energy when I came in here. It was so positive. I was like, I can't live here.
My real names are Akbofiofobo, Akborubomemere.
I think my father is a comedian because most times when he calls me, he's like, yo, make sure you use condom, you know, them girls out there.
So are you telling me I should have shot my shots?
Ife, you have a younger brother. Age is nothing but a number. What? I'm a vampire.
I believe in equal rights for women, and I also believe that a man is the head of the house, so we need to draw our limits somewhere.
It feels so good. Now can I do my jam now?
Yeah, you can.
Welcome back. You're watching Tea Time right here on Plus TV Africa. If you're just joining us on the program, we're chatting to producer, singer Dunnie. And I think Oshinkaye has a question.
Yeah, so basically, I realized when I was going through your history and your bio and all of that you've been in a lot of reality shows, competitions, so you have this competitive nature. Is that confidence or is that just your way of getting out there?
I'll be very realistic. The reason why I went for any reality show is I kind of discovered that some things you don't say no to in industry. TV time.
True.
More exposure.
Exposure, it means a lot, and you build your fan base. However, so for me, it was just a way.
Now
of
that you
getting
told us your secret, we are billing you after.
You know, so you just have to. So, because I realized that for me, the industry was at that time I was still just trying to figure out, okay, how do you do this? You know, do you get signed? Do you? Okay, there's an opportunity. It wasn't even about the money. For me, it was about meeting people and networking and.
You are, you know, you're involved in a lot of things, producing, singing, and you're mentioning now your journey and all these shows and stuff. What is the background like? Do you have family support? I know, you know, it's not a very, as a Nigerian girl, your coffee is probably 7 o'clock in your parents' house or whatever. So are they in support? Are they in support of this thing, or like, you know, how does the background look like?
Initially, my parents were very worried. You know, normally they wanted me to study medicine, and after a while it was pharmacy. Then I was okay, just manage microbiology now, just do something serious. But I wanted music and.
So what did you end up studying?
Sociology.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, you know, there's this thing that Karl Marx said, that religion is the opium of the masses, and that worked for me because I started singing in church. So because I was serving in church, that gave them this, okay, music is not so bad. But I think what really convinced them was when I went to SA for that show, and I think I came back home with like 400,000 naira, and I was in like year 2 or year 1. Just like that! 400,000 naira! Wow! you know, and I give some people some, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is not so bad. It could be lucrative. I think the major challenges they feel, is this sustainable? Don't come back to us asking for 10,000 naira, you know, so you want to know. So I try my best. That's why I like that I'm producing, because you know, I'm running a business.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna ask you, is it sustainable?
Yeah, it is.
Is it putting food on your table?
It's good, yeah.
Is it paying your bills?
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
House rent? Or you still live with your parents?
I still live with my parents, but if I wanted to get a place, it's
Or you buy provisions?
Yeah, I do.
Buy foodstuffs, you know?
Come on, this no, okay, I want to ask something off the back of what she said, because I was actually meaning to ask you. So she talked about your background, you know, and I was like, I saw somewhere where it says you lived with, like, you have 8 siblings or so. Is that correct, or is that wrong?
Yeah, I'm from an extended family.
Oh, I see. I thought it was all the same.
No.
Oh,
no.
I see. So are you the last, or?
Yeah, I'm the last.
Okay, so how does that fit in the family? Do they like
How many guys?
a lot, or does that
2
affect you?
guys. 6 girls. So he really wants to know a lot. Okay. Yeah, so it doesn't. I'm very independent, and I'm very on my own. So I'm not like the typical last child. So I'm not over pampered. I'm really a person of myself.
Okay, what I wanted to know was like, did the 8 of you, did that have an effect on you as a last child, or it didn't have any effect whatsoever?
No, none that I know of. Like,
and did that strengthen you in your current line of work?
yeah, it just made me more aware of myself. I got to know myself earlier on, because you know, I had people to look up to, people to learn from. I learned from a lot of their mistakes, and so I'm more. I can say that I was ahead of my time. You know,
as a result of.
So
it has helped you, made you stronger, much more mature.
I'm not aware.
I think I should let Ife ask you a question, because I think he's dying to ask you some
No, I'm not. Since I want to know a lot. I'm not asking you.
No, you make that sound like a bad thing. No.
Okay, but I picked up on the fact that you said you're very independent, a lady. I don't want to call you a woman.
Why not?
No.
She's a woman.
If you call a woman Africa woman.
I was in 1990. What? 1980. Don't worry, I'm a woman. It's
okay, so lady, woman, Dunnie. What's your take on feminism?
Okay. Feminism is great. It's absolutely necessary. Like, what is feminism? Equal opportunities, equal social, economic, and political opportunities for both men and women. So in that context, I think we should all be feminists. Like, if you are not a feminist, something is wrong.
Okay, you know what? We're going to talk more about this feminism, but let's quickly go on a break. When we come back, hopefully we'll touch more on that. Yes, we'll go on a quick break. When we return, it will be time to bring our conversation with producer singer Dunnie. We may be bringing it to a close. We may be talking about feminism. Who knows? Don't go anywhere and don't miss it. We'll be right back.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect am.
If you no talk, dem go beat you.
Na 2,500 I dey pay.
It's still tea time right here on Plus TV Africa, and we're swiftly moving on in our conversation with producer singer Dunnie. Okay, so before the break we were talking about feminism.
Yes.
She was saying that she believes everyone should be in that context.
And that if you're not a feminist, something is wrong with you.
You see, I think on your line of thought, or shall I say earlier when we were talking about, you know, your music, and if I was asking you if you felt like, you know, you were one of the only females in the industry or something like that, and you were quick to say, you know, it doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah.
So I just picked up on that you might be a feminist. So I'm glad that he actually asked you.
yeah. Because I really do not like being referred to as a female
You don't like
producer.
let's just be a producer.
Let my music
That's it.
speak for itself.
Yeah, thank you. I think I like
I like that too.
Yeah.
So your new music, where can we have access to it?
In a few
weeks.
weeks.
Who are watching.
In a few weeks, a new music is going to come out. We're releasing 2 singles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are they titled?
One is called Blood Pressure. The other one is called Nobody's Ex.
Okay.
Why did you title them that way?
Nobody's Ex is supposed to be like a follow-up to Foolish, because after you've done a lot of foolish things, you just wake up and like, I'm nobody's ex. If we break up, I don't know you. That's what it says. Yeah.
So you don't believe in second chances?
Of course, I do believe in second chances.
You believe in life after death?
Absolutely.
Okay, you know what? Before we wrap up, or before we run out of time, I'd like all of these songs that you've mentioned. You've got to sort of let our viewers know what you can actually do.
Sing one for us, please.
Yes, one of them. Foolish, or the two that are
Nobody's Ex.
Nobody's
I like
Ex.
Nobody's Ex.
Just give us the chorus because we don't know how long.
We want that.
What do we do?
Go on.
It goes like this. I'm nobody's ex, nobody is ex. If we break up, I don't know you. Me say me not know you. I'm nobody's ex, nobody is ex. If we break up, I don't know you. Me say me not know you. Cruising in my Benz like nobody's ex. Walking out the place like nobody's ex. I'm fresh and clean, I'm nobody's ex. One name, me, I'm nobody's ex. Cruising in my Benz like nobody's ex. Walking out the place like nobody's ex. I'm fresh and clean, I'm nobody's ex. One name, me and nobody.
Can I have a
Wow, what a way to go. Absolutely. But I noticed the Igbo in that.
Yeah.
Do you speak or are you related?
I listen to a lot of Flavor.
Oh, okay.
Flavor with.
I was like, where did that come from? I was like,
so wait, before you go, I'd like to get your 3 top Nigerian artists and 3 top Nigerian producers.
Okay, producers, SARS, Don Jazzy.
In order of preference?
Yeah, SARS. That's my mentor. Yeah.
Don
Jazzy, Mastercraft.
And Mastercraft too. So, singers, artists.
Tiwa Savage.
1.
That's is hard though. Asha.
2. You.
No, besides me, I don't know.
Simi.
Yeah, Simi is great. It's hard to choose.
Alright, so what? What's Nigerian?
Nah, I'm not going to do that.
Like,
that's not nice.
No, but there must be someone you didn't like, maybe the sound of.
That you feel like, no.
There's a lot of people I don't like, but I wouldn't want to put them on blast.
Just, okay, one name. Okay, not 3. Just one. Just one person that you never download their music.
No.
Just one person that you know.
You need a lawyer or plead the fifth.
You tell us.
I'll tell you your ears.
I'll come back and say it on the show.
Then I'll say I never said it.
All right then.
Yeah.
So
okay, so now that you do producing, you do singing, you know, a lot of people from that point onwards go on to other things. They may set up businesses, they may go into writing, they may go into acting. Yeah. Have you thought about that long in the future regarding what else you want to do?
Absolutely. I actually have a 10-year plan for my music.
Wow.
Yeah, after like 10 years, I want to, do other things, and one of it is concentrate on the business side of the music industry, and then also do other. I have interest in other businesses as well. But music for me is like the foundation. Okay. From there I'll propel to other things.
Your talent is obviously preceding you and stuff, and I'm guessing that just comes hand in hand with fame. I just wanted to find out what your take is on that, being new into the business and stuff. How are you handling and managing that? Is it toxic? Is it overwhelming?
Yeah, it is actually. It's a jungle out here. I think one of the best advice someone gave me when I moved to Lagos was, everyone is an animal until they prove to you otherwise. So it's really hard. It's a jungle out here.
Lagos. From where?
ABJ. I'm shocked you didn't know that.
Considering all of the Okay, guys, that's precisely where we're going to wrap up this morning. But we're back on Monday, though, with brand new episodes of the program. Until then, a big thank you to Ife Omai, Ife Oshunkeye, the entire production team, our stylist, Kudis Empire, and Liz Harrison, and of course, our studio guest, producer, singer, Dunnie. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Tokumbo Taiwo saying thanks for watching, and from all of us here, have yourself a wonderful day.